I think it was about a few weeks ago, or maybe a month or so, that we talked about the fact that matchmaking in Overwatch was a little busted at times. The big culprit would be people queuing late at night, and as a result of not a lot of people playing, there'd be huge disparities in the skill of the teams that would end up facing each other. Well, it appears like this is still an issue. As recent as yesterday, there have been several reports of massive disparity in skill between teams that are meeting each other in competitive matchmaking. Take a look at this one. We've got a team with a silver player facing against a team of masters and grandmasters. Now, in this particular situation, that silver player is grouped up with someone who's unranked, so we could kind of write this off by saying that unranked person is likely of master's skill level, and for whatever reason, he queued up with the silver. Probably a friend of his, but regardless, with the nature of competitive, this shouldn't even be allowed. This is a hugely unfair for the rest of the team playing with the silver on their side. But there's a couple of other examples. This one has a team of platinum and diamond players facing against a team of top 500s. Look at the SR difference, 2941 versus 4465. There's a massive skill discrepancy between these two teams. And yet another example of a team of platinum and diamond facing another team of top 500. But actually, if we look closer, this is the same team of top 500 players. Yes, the exact same 6-stack as seen in the last image. Players Cantus, Chrisu, Color Hex, Luffy, Unholy, and YesClip. Now, that's a bit interesting that the exact same team of top 500 players ends up playing two different teams of platinum and diamond players. Now, you might ask, well, Force, is this just another example of people playing during off-peak hours? Apparently, no. Both players who were on, I guess what we'll call the losing side of these matchups are the ones who posted these images and stated that they were playing during peak times for their regions. So it wasn't a matter of them playing at off hours and there's just not a lot of people to face against. Now, what's still certainly possible is the fact that in these examples, we've got groups of as much as 3 facing against a 6-stack. Yeah, that makes it harder when you group up at 3, 4, 5. You're more likely to face people who are stacks of 6. But it should not be the case ever that a top 500 team will be facing against anybody diamond and below. That should simply not be happening. There's far too big a discrepancy in skill between those players. That there just is, plain and simple. Now, Blizzard had stated that they were going to be working to fix this issue, imbalanced teams facing each other, but this was something that was talked about a month ago. On March 3rd, Overwatch's principal designer Scott Mercer talked about the fact that the matchmaker focuses on creating fair matches with the ultimate goal of having a 50% chance to win or lose. At the very high and very low SRs, it becomes more difficult, and that is especially true during off-peak times, simply because it's hard to match them with people at their skill levels, and even harder when there are fewer people playing, compounded by people queuing in big groups, such as a stack of 6. He did say that eventually the system would make compromises so that people don't wait forever in queue. But the next part is the real sticking point. Scott said, well, we're not going to compromise as much anymore. The matchmaker will no longer create a match above a certain win percentage threshold, and we're going to turn this new behavior on very soon. When we do, you could possibly wait a very long time or even not find a match at all in extreme cases. It's important to note that this quote was taken from a blog discussing competitive season 4, and again, that was over a month ago. Now, the assumption was that this would be rolled in during the start of competitive season 4. That's what we were all led to believe, but it is clearly the case that there is still some issue taking place. At the very least, something funky is going on. It's not that people are queuing during off-peak times. People have claimed that this could be a bug or even possibly an exploit. Again, we'll go back to the fact that the same top 500 team, the same 6-stack and 2 different occasions, were playing against a team of platinum and diamond players. Now, I'm not going to make any accusations because I have no clue. I wasn't personally there. We don't know if the people posting these images were actually playing during off-peak times or if there are other situations in play that we're just unaware of. I just find it interesting that the same 6-stack of people playing against people much below their skill level on separate occasions. That's all I'm pointing out. Beyond that, you can draw your own conclusions or just say it's a coincidence. Anything's possible. Either way though, regardless of what situation led to this happening, Blizzard has to step in as soon as possible. Even if this isn't happening on a massive scale, even if it's only taking place in 5% or less of matches, hell, you know what, that's probably even way overestimating. It could only be taking place in less than 0.5% of matches, even lower than that. Even if that is the case, whenever this does happen, it's not fair for either side, especially the losing team who's absolutely going to get stomped. Now, admittedly, they're not going to lose a lot of SR, but it's not a fun experience. Although, if we're going to look on the bright side of things, I guess I could say, if this ever happens to you, consider it a learning experience? Try to improve your aim? I don't know. Try to look on the bright side of things, but there's nothing here. Blizzard, please fix this as soon as possible. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.